For this demo, we're going to be showing you how to put leg time in between your activities. If you came out of the last demo and saved your project, that's okay. What we can do is we can either go one of two ways. You can go into the activity that you added duration to and change it back to your 10 days. You can leave it how you had it. It doesn't really matter. The one thing that we want to make sure that is changed just for this activity so we can see the effects of the added leg time the best is we want to make sure that you are utilizing your free scheduling. We don't want to be on top-down scheduling anymore. So if you did save it, come over into your project planning board, go to your options, and make sure that your free scheduling is turned on and that the radio box for adjust basic dates is checked off. We want it to look similar to that so that we can move the end of this project and really show you what the leg time is going to look like between one of these different activities. So moving back to our project builder view, we can go in and the first thing we can do, we can choose our relationship overview icon, and we can do that from any activity that we'd be stationed on. So if we just pick our drive shaft or our bearing again or anything down here, we can go ahead and go over here, and you'll notice if you scroll along your icons, you can and hover on them, you'll find your relationship overview. It looks like two chain links. We can go in here and we can add different amounts of interval to different activities or in between different activities. That D is going to be our unit that we're going to be maintaining. Doesn't matter quite yet. One thing you need to notice is you need to take note about which activity you're going to be adding the interval to and how you're going to be affecting it. So the one that we're highlighting is the bearings, and it's 0030. So we've got our bearings at 0030. You notice down on our work area that the relationship you can affect is the preceding relationship, which is 0020, which is with the universal joints, so you can add leg time between those two. That would be putting it on there, or you can add leg time between the bearings and the propeller, which is 0040, which would be adding it to this box. So that's how you would do it from the Project Builder home screen. If we'd like to go into our Gantt view, we can also do it over there too. So once we're in here and you're going to have a similar working screen as you would there, showing you how to affect the different relationships. We'll go ahead and make sure this is a little more friendly so that we can view the changes in our dates when we add this leg time, and that's really going to show us what. So we'll go ahead and pick the same thing. We'll go ahead and pick bearings. So we're going to click our radio box here. And that's showing us that that's going to be our primary relationship or activity that we want to affect a relationship on. Now, the one different thing about the project planning board and your project builder views and the relationships you're going to maintain is you do have the same icon, but this is actually to connect selected activities. So that would be actually creating the relationship between two activities. What we want to do is we want to edit that relationship. So similar but not quite, we want to do editing or an overview. We've already got our relationships established. So reaching back a couple of demonstrations, we created relationships in the network graphic from the Project Builder screen. This is where you'd be creating the relationship between activities in the Project Planning Board screen. But for this demonstration, we are just going to go ahead and add interval time. And again, here's that same screen that you saw over work area that you saw from your Project Builder view. It's going to show the same activities. Here your preceding activity, here's your following activity. We'll go ahead and add leg time between our following activity. So we'd be looking for it on this bar. Here's our preceding activity. Here's 0020. That would be our universal joints. Here's our propellers, and here's the one we're actually working with. So we'll go ahead and add some interval time here to the end of our bearing, in between our bearings finishing and our propellers beginning. So we'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and add 20 days of interval in there. And what we're going to need to maintain is we're also going to need to maintain the units. And you can go in and use your Dropbox to maintain a unit, and you can just go through and find it in here. If you do have a history there, you can press your space bar and just pull that up because it's going to come up with the defaulted history. We'll go ahead and hit our green check. You'll notice it hasn't changed yet. First thing we need to do from there is we need to go in, we need to select all on our project, and take note of your end dates, and take note of that. We're going to go Edit, Functions, Schedule, and it's taken and created an interval gap between our two activities. So it's also taken that from our 4/1 end date to 4/21. It's extended the overall length of our entire project, and it's created more float time, total float and free float, on our other activities. So that's adding lag time to your project.